This is Top Accolade African News. I am Abiodun Mohamed. The head of a Tunisian political party, who is a prominent opponent of President Kais Saied, said he was stopped from leaving the country on Wednesday, fueling concerns over the right to dissent and democratic pluralism. Fadel Abdelkefi, the head of the AFEC Tunis party, said police stopped him at Carthage International Airport and prevented him traveling, but without any judicial warrant. The move comes a day after police started investigating a domestic journalist over an article critical of the Prime Minister, and in the run-up to legislative elections that Saied's opponents have decried as undemocratic. Saied seized broad powers last year, shut down the elected parliament, and held a referendum to enshrine near absolute presidential power, buttressed by a weakened legislature in a new constitution. An Interior Ministry official told pressmen a Tunis court had issued a judicial decision to prevent Abdelkefi from traveling, adding that the ministry was not empowered to take such a step independently. Abdelkefi told pressmen he had not been made aware of any judicial decision against him. Rights groups have warned that Saied's moves have put at risk Tunisia's democracy and the rights and freedoms won after a 2011 revolution. 15 trucks carrying food aid entered Ethiopia's Tigray region on Wednesday, the United Nations Food Agency said, as humanitarian groups gain access for the first time since a ceasefire agreement was signed 2 weeks ago. The convoy entered Tigray through the neighboring region of Amhara using a route that had not been viable since mid-2021, the UN's World Food Programme said, when a bridge on the Tekeze River was destroyed. Earlier on Wednesday, the International Committee of the Red Cross said a test flight landed in Sher, the first humanitarian plane to land in the northern city since the war started in November 2020. The ICRC also said airlifts would resume under the ceasefire agreement with the Tigray People's Liberation Front (TPLF), which controls the region. The federal government pledged to work with agencies to expedite the provision of aid. The ICRC on Tuesday announced the first international aid delivery since the truce to end 2 years of fighting. There had been no international aid into Tigray, a region of around 5.5 million people, since August, when an earlier ceasefire broke down. The Ethiopian government says it has been providing aid in recent weeks. According to reports, Uganda's national symbol, the crested crane, is now considered endangered as its wetland home is being lost to farming. There are only around 20,000 left in the world as people continue to drain and reclaim swaths of swampland for farming. The cranes have limited nesting and breeding places. Communities in Kabale in the southwest are working to save the crane and the wetlands it inhabits. Convincing locals to give up potential farming land has not been easy, but members of the community have now come on board as so-called crane custodians. They keep an eye on the birds in their localities, report any that are injured or killed, as well as pairs that have nested or have chicks. Jimmy Muhibwa of Nature Uganda says the number of cranes has now stabilized, but Uganda has already lost over 40% of its wetlands in the last 2 decades, so in some regions it might be too late for the cranes. The 2023 Grammy Award nominations have been announced, and African stars Tems, Burna Boy, Rocky Dawuni, and Angelique Kidjo are all up for awards. Nigerian singer and songwriter Tems was nominated for her writing on Beyoncé's Renaissance album, and for rapper Drake's Wait For You song, which is nominated for Record of the Year. Burna Boy bagged his 3rd Grammy nomination in a row for Best Global Music Performance and is also nominated for his album Love Damini. Beninese superstar Angelique Kidjo was also nominated for several awards, including Best Global Music Album, making her a 12-time Grammy nominee. That is the size of Top Accolade African News. You can follow us on our social media platforms as displayed on your screen. Happy midweek.